Hey, how you doing? Justin back with you to talk about your lesson 12 practice schedule. We're still on 30 minutes, the first 5 of which will be song revision. You could be continuing with some fingerstyle or exploring riffs that you've learned in the past, whatever it is that you like really. Some kind of revision. Hopefully you're developing your own repertoire and putting a song book together. Then we're going to have 2 minutes on the minor pentatonic scale. Okay, so just trying to play the scale up and down, getting to the point of alternate picking, but not starting with that. Starting with all down picking, making sure you memorize the shape. Committing it to memory is super important. Only when you've got the shape down, you might want to explore using alternate picking with the down picks on the notes under the first finger and an up pick on the other notes. You can do it with a metronome or just freestyle, but trying to keep the tempo consistent. We then got 3 minutes on power chords. So that would just be practicing your root 6 and your root 5 power chords, making sure that you're muting all the appropriate strings, exploring using the 3-finger power chord or the 2-finger power chord, just seeing how it feels under your finger and which one you want to do. That also includes memorizing those 6 key tones on the bottom 2 strings, making sure maybe a bit of revision on the note circle so that you can find any of those root notes for any of the chords nice and super quick. And of course, committing the chord shape to memory. Ideally, you want to have those notes and the chord shape into your memory by the end of this lesson. That's what I think you should be aiming for. I should point out actually that once you've got the chord and you're kind of confident with playing the songs, you might want to swap that for something else. So you could spend extra time on working on the palm muting or extra time on a song or whatever it is you want. So that the practice just on the chords individually, you probably want to be doing that for maybe 4 or 5 sessions. And after that, you might want to absorb that time into something else. So you could even use it to revise fingerstyle patterns or whatever, you know. At this stage, you definitely need to be tweaking your routine to fit what you need to do and the things that you're struggling with the most and what you want to do, what you enjoy on the guitar. Enjoying it is the most important thing. Then I've allocated 2 minutes for sliding the power chords. I'd recommend maybe either using Cocaine or Anarchy in the UK or Song 2, but practicing one of those songs where you're sliding the chord shape up and down, getting used to that idea of relaxing the pressure, moving the hand while keeping the shape there. So pressing the strings just light enough to keep them muted and to stay in contact with the strings, but not pressing so hard that it pulls the shape out of place. Okay, it's kind of a pretty important part. So 2 minutes on that. I've got then 3 minutes on string changes with the shape. So either playing Molly's Lips or Smells Like Teen Spirit or another song, whatever it is that you like. But really focusing on the keeping the shape the same while you lift it ever so slightly and place it down on the next string group down or up and just moving between them. Really, really important skill. I've then allocated 2 minutes for palm muting work. So you probably want to be using all the small things. You don't have to, but that would be a really good one. That's also in my app. So you might want to do some play along stuff with that as well. Great practice. We then got 3 minutes on the Enter Sandman riff. Now, you can either play that very first riff, which is pretty kind of technically difficult. It's a bit finger stretchy. It's a bit awkward. It's a great exercise in perseverance and being able to get through the frustration to just sit there and work on that stretch to be able to play it. But if you find it too frustrating, you could just go for the slightly simpler version of the kind of the main riff. If you're feeling more ambitious, you could go through and start to learn as many of the riffs from the song as you can. Maybe even incorporating some of those power chord bits. They will be quite tricky for most beginners. So a little bit, it's like if you're a dedicated Metallica fan, you really love the song, then it's probably worth putting the extra time in and having a go at learning most of the parts of the song. Even the tricky bit where it goes up to the little F sharp part. You know, it's possible for a beginner. Nit Sudge had a little bit of a go, was like, well, this is a bit difficult, but it was kind of fun having a try. And there's nothing wrong with having a try if it's fun. Just don't get frustrated. If you try something that's too hard, make sure you're enjoying it and don't let yourself overcome with, oh, why can't I do this? Well, the reason you can't do this, you're still at the beginner level and that's a lot harder song. So that's how it goes. Then you've got 10 minutes more song work on hopefully power chord songs. So you've probably got some specific songs that you're using as kind of practice tools. So you might be playing Molly's Lips and you might be doing, what was the other one for the first? Cocaine, Molly's Lips, and a little bit of All the Small Things. So you could either continue work on one of those songs or you could be working on another song. And there are literally hundreds of songs that you could be choosing for power chords. Basket Case by Green Day is a fantastic one for power chords and palm muting. Loads of Black Sabbath like Sweet Leaf and those kind of tunes, Iron Man. There's like almost any kind of subgenre of rock is going to be using power chords. If you're more an acoustic kind of a thing, you might want to check out some of the Nirvana Unplugged songs. There's plenty of songs that you could get away with there. Or just explore playing some of the songs that you've already learned on acoustic guitar, but having a go at playing it using power chords. If you're a big fan of pop music, something like Rolling in the Deep by Adele is a nice one that uses power chords. There is really, the choice of songs is pretty vast, as you'll see on that songs page. But again, the most important thing at this point is that you're enjoying what you're practicing. Okay, so make sure you tweak up the practice schedule, the suggested practice schedule, so that it fits where you're at, because we all have different struggles here. Some people are going to find the power chords real simple and they'll be like ripping through them and really struggling with the scale. Other people will be finding, they really love the fingerstyle thing and they're disappointed there's no more fingerstyle this week. So maybe you cut down some of the rock stuff and continue on with the fingerstyle this time. I think it's important to have had a go at doing this. But you probably know a little bit more about what you like, what you enjoy, what you're good at, what you suck at, what things you've memorized, what it is that you want to do with the guitar. So feel totally free to adapt the routine so it's what you're going to enjoy. I want you to look forward to practicing each time, not going like, oh, got to do that power chord practice now. That's not what it's about. It's music. It should be a fun thing. We play guitar. We don't work guitar. Okay, so make sure that you're playing it, you're having fun doing it. Sure, sometimes we'll do an exercise like playing a scale, and I've done plenty of practice of things that weren't the most fun thing ever. But occasionally we do that kind of practice because we know the benefits are really good. So if I spend a little bit of time doing this slightly monotonous finger exercise, it's going to make doing that other thing, which I love doing, loads more fun, and it's worth it. So that's the kind of justification sometimes for doing a slightly dreary or repetitive exercise. And the better you get, the more you have to do that sort of stuff, practicing, melodic patterns on scales and stuff. They're really beneficial. They're just a little bit boring. Personally, maybe I'm a bit weird. I quite enjoy that kind of thing, doing a repetitive pattern over and over. I can kind of zone out. It almost becomes like a meditation. If you can get into that kind of zone, then definitely be doing the repetitive practice as much as you can, because it is really beneficial. Just some people find it super boring. So try and keep it, whatever it is, whatever personality it is you got, what things you love doing on the guitar, try and tailor the practice so it suits you. I'll see you for plenty more very, very soon. You all take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.